Welcome everyone to this session for the first session of Heart-Led Marketing Week. So I've just started live stream as well, so if anyone happens to be over YouTube or you're watching a replay on YouTube or something like that, skip ahead 5 minutes and we'll get rock and rolling. And people in the Zoom room will hear live. How are you guys doing? Feel free. I've just had to close my curtains in front of my computer because the sun is shining brightly in my eyes. So where are you guys in the world? It's I'm in the UK. So feel free to change your name. You should be able to do so. Let us know where you are in the world. And also you can type in the chat what you're looking forward to in this session.
Hey, Steve. Just let you know I'm here. I'm just going to go to the toilet and get a dolphin. Normal pre-work stuff.
Yeah, standard Brightonian.
How's the connection? I've had a bit of internet issues, so I'm a bit worried about it, but I've got my phone if it goes wrong.
Yeah, no, it seems to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe even set up your phone and join just as a backup so it's easy if that does happen.
Yeah, good idea. Okay.
Earthy as fuck.
Stephen, swearing. Language.
It's all right, the Australians are up at this time, so it's fine, and it's Brits, there's no Americans, so it's okay.
No Americans here to get offended. Okay. Where is everyone from? I do like to hear that. So someone from the Netherlands, someone in London. So he's in London. Is that a Polish name? Someone in Germany. Where in Germany? Aachen. Don't know that one. It's not anywhere near Berlin, is it? It's my least favorite place in Germany, Berlin. So I'm going to go to the loo and come back in 3 minutes. You can do the same if you want tea, you have time. And please be ready for cameras on, if at all humanly possible, in a moment.
We've got Sarah from my hometown in Perth, Western Australia. Welcome. Sort of hometown. I was born in Alice Springs, but lived most of my life in Perth before becoming a traitorous person over in the UK. And if anyone wants to type in the chat as well, would you sort of hoping to get out of today's session? So I'm sure Mark will do this a little bit later as well, but would you, one, looking forward to getting out of it? What sort of, did you go, why does it say that marketing's love and not evil? Because we all know it's evil. And maybe as well, what is it that you do? Are you just kind of here for interest, or you're looking forward to getting into some sort of embodiment stuff? Are you a yoga teacher? Are you a coach? What is it that you do?
Important. I'm going to need a poll: unicorn, dolphin, or penguin. That's the choice you get. Okay.
All right. Shall I actually make a poll? I'll make a poll. All right. And everyone here, if you would like to do so, which one? What were they? Unicorn, dolphins, and penguins. Okay. All right, Sean says unicorn. Oh, additional clarity, heart centering of my marketing. North of Germany. Okay, so Lara, you're helping Mark there by telling him it's the opposite side as Berlin. Need to kick up the bum to self-promote. Yeah, so hopefully what you'll get out of this is you realise that there's maybe less kicks up bums and more just realising that's actually a nice thing to do. Counsellor coach from the Netherlands. Oh, Sean, hesitate to say from New York. It's okay. East Coast is fine, you know. You guys have a sense of humour. I'm a yoga teacher, like to get some ideas on how to promote my classes. Seems to use, people use the same channels these days. Looking forward to have a relaxed kind of attitude towards reaching out with marketing, without feeling sleazy or as an imposter. Yes.
No Italians here. That looks a bit Italian. Could be Romanian, one of these names. Don't.
I mean, I identify as an Italian at the moment.
Fuck you, Steve. Fuck you. Okay, we've got some Australians. We only do this in the morning for the Australians and the New Zealanders and the Singaporeans. But
right. Shall I press record and get things going, Mark? And
Italian, indeed. I knew it. I spotted him, Max. You're a better team on the day. I'll give it to you. Give it to you. One fair and square. Ready to go, Steve?
Yep, I'll press record and do the techie stuff, and I'm sure I won't introduce you because you don't do that. Okay, so yeah, welcome everyone to this session on marketing for people who hate marketing. So hopefully you get a bit of a reframe here on why marketing is love and not evil, and why it's fun and playful, and then some practical things as well around like pricing and some top resources and how to adapt in current times. But just as a few background things, I'm hosting, so if you do have any tech problems, feel free to private message me is best. And we'd really love it if you have your cameras on. So it provides feedback for Mark and see how things are landing. And also, like, it's totally fine if you're like cooking or eating or going for a walk or something, still have your cameras on because it's a bit more human. And also, headphones may be necessary because there could be swearing. So, particularly if there's children around or easily offended people, please do use headphones if that's needed. And if Mark does invite anyone to talk, just be aware that this is recorded. You now click that button saying, yes, I know. So that's that. Also, do invite your friends to this event. So replays will be available. So there's going to be a session today, a session on Friday, and a session on Sunday. And then replays will be available on Monday and Tuesday. So I'll pop some links in the chat in a sec if you want to invite your friends so that they can actually get hold of those and come to those next live sessions as well. So that's about me. So over to you, Mark.
Thanks, Steve. Hello, everyone. I like teaching this session. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad you're here. If you have your cameras on, that does help. If you want to go for a walk and just put it on audio, if you can do that, I recommend that. There will be some slides, but mostly it will just be my beautiful voice. I'm told I have a sexy voice, so and my mum says that, so it must be true. So if you do want to stroll or do housework or whatever, then feel free. And it is nice to see you, though, if you can have your camera on. And as Steve said, add your name, your location to your name. There's some really important cultural stuff here as well. And if you want, could you also add like your job? And I know you've probably got 10, but it might say like yoga teacher or coach or something like that. That really helps me get a sense of how best to help you and, you know, what kind of concerns you might have. So in terms of where you are and what you do. So that's the second bit to add. All right, cool. Why are you here? Not like philosophically, but like in life, but why are you here for this session? In the chat, one sentence, why on earth are you here? While you're typing that, do a little bit more blah, blah, blah. The aim of this session is to help people who hate marketing to not hate marketing so they can actually do some. Okay, that is the main aim. I won't teach you everything about marketing, of course, today. But if we can do at least that reframe, that shift, who would that be useful for to even hate marketing a bit less? Would that be useful for any of you? If not, you're probably in the wrong place. Probably better off just going sunbathe or something. Yeah. So I'm going to do this in the form of a dialogue, and you have a choice of 3 animals that can be you. Which do you most relate to? Unicorn, dolphin, or penguin? Okay, this is the choice. Steve, do we have a poll? People can still be typing while they're here in the chat. This is very important, guys. My one rule for 3 sessions is I will get 2 rules. Actually, I'll give you something useful, but I intend to have fun. I always say that if I'm not getting paid, I'm definitely having fun. Don't like marketing. Great. Oh, helpfully, someone started circular soaring outside my house. Much appreciated. Steve, do we have a poll?
We do. It's up on screen. Although people are choosing multiple options, I think.
For some reason, I can't see it. Why are you here? Creative ways of marketing. I want the reframe. Okay. Struggle to promote myself. Yeah, this is really normal human stuff. Why don't we start there in that place? I'll start with a couple of things, my own story and just sort of how human this is. Is anyone here a marketing professional or studied like in, yeah. Andrew, if you're a marketing professional, you're just here to steal stuff, aren't you? So why don't you fuck off? Like, no, you can stay as well. You'll probably get an entirely different take on it than is normal marketing. It's like not what you'll hear in an MBA for sure. And do feel free to add this into what you're doing. Just to say where you got it from if you do. That's my request if you're a marketing professional. Most of us, however, aren't, are we? I didn't get taught this at school. I got taught English and maths. I didn't get taught any marketing skills. So on one level, why should you know this? right? Like Zoe maybe has a Polish name. I don't know Polish. Why? Because I didn't get taught it at school. Okay. Actually, I visited Poland and I had to pick up a few words. So necessity forced me to learn the bare basics. That might be where you're at with business. Yeah, that might be where you're at with what you do. The other thing was, like, if you were like a marketing expert, as marketing is normally done, like that would make you a bad person, actually. Okay. If you were like the average advertising, sales, and marketing person, I'm sorry if Andrew and Anne-Marie, I'm insulting you at this point, but I think Bill Hicks said it right when he said, if you work in marketing and advertising, kill yourself, right? Now, I would add a slight amendment to that, saying if you do marketing and advertising in the normal manipulative, sleazy, lying, tricking people kind of way, then you're not my kind of person. Is that similar to all you guys? Now, the good news is you don't have to. And actually, I'm sure Andrea and Anne-Marie are probably more aligned with how I do it. Yeah. The good news is you don't have to. So that's really the message here, is it doesn't have to be like that. And we make this distinction. We sometimes call it Jedi and Sith, Jedi versus Sith marketing. Who has seen Star Wars? Put your hand up. There will be interactions. If you haven't seen Star Wars, immediately turn off your computer and go see Star Wars. It's more important than this talk. The original ones, not the modern woke absolute abominations, but the original ones, please. The original 3. So in Star Wars, there are sort of evil and good kind of warrior magicians. They're called the Jedi and the Sith. Okay. So what is the Sith way of marketing? What's the kind of marketing that you hate, which is why you think it's evil and don't want to do it, probably? So what is the worst stuff? Let's differentiate that first. Put it in the chat. Worst stuff. Worst stuff out there. Lying. Relentless. Endless. So the quantity is mostly a problem when we haven't given permission for it. Right. So, for example, I tell my wife I love her every day. At no point does she say, I'm fucking sick of this. You keep telling me this. It's annoying. Right. Because it's a nice message that's positive and that she has given me consent to give her. Right. So frequency can be an issue, but there's actually a more important issue. Yeah. Sometimes it's the language. Like, I'll talk about funnels, but we'll talk about it differently. Manipulative. No ethics. Being a bastard. I like you, Max, even if you're Italian. Relentless, in your face, false promising it. So key thing here is 2 things. One would be deception. All right. The other one would be ethically, we're not considering the needs of the customer. So when I look at an advert that's trying to make me afraid, for example, you see a lot of adverts that make you afraid, don't you? Yeah. Or make me anxious, or make me feel like I'm not good enough, or my body's the wrong shape, or whatever, I'm not rich enough, women won't love me unless I shave this way, or whatever. Yeah. When I see an advert like that, it's not taking care of me and my mental and emotional health, is it? You seen an advert like that lately? One that doesn't give a shit if I feel bad. It only wants me to buy the product. Yeah. Buy this bleach or your children will die. Yeah. Buy this perfume or men will hate you, whatever it is. Yeah. So the key thing for me is the consideration for the other's needs. That's one way to be an asshole. It's not to consider the other's needs. What's the other way to consider to be an asshole if you run a business? Ooh, I'm going to turn this on its head. So one way to be an asshole is to lie to the other person, to not look after them, right? What's the other way to manipulate them, to lie to them, to not ethically look after them? Who's the other person you could not be looking after if you run a business? Ah, the penny drops. Okay, yourself. Okay, so the good news, there is a way to do marketing that doesn't involve lying. Yeah, there's a Jedi way, and I'm going to tell you what that's about. I'm going to tell you how to do that. The other piece of bad news, though, is that not doing marketing is a form of self-harm. All right. Let's be honest with ourselves. If you have, it's also a way of harming the world. Let me tell you how fucking selfish and evil you all really are. Okay. So who does something they think is a good thing? They think is a good thing, like your yoga class helps people. Hopefully you're all holding your hands up. Nobody here murders kittens for a living, right? You all do something positive. Is that true? I mean, all my friends in this field, I love what they do. They do. I went to a great yoga class on Monday. Did great martial arts over the weekend. Like, this stuff is good for the world. Is that fair to say? It's why it's my life's work. It's my life's work to get this stuff to the world. And I realized it was also my life's work to help my students get a bit better at marketing because they were rubbish at it. Yeah. So if it's a good thing to get your work to the world, is it not a bad thing to not do that for the world? Do you follow my logic? If you're yoga class, coaching, whatever you do, please write in your name what you do so I can give better examples. If that is good for people, then not getting it to people is a harmful, evil, nasty thing to do. On top of that, you're fucking yourself over. Oh, who's not been Welsh before? There's going to be lots of swearing and jokes. If that offends you, you're in the wrong place. Okay? You're in the wrong place. Bad luck. Write me an email. I'll delete it. So you're harming yourself and the world. I'm just going to sort of let this sink in because a lot of my alternative friends, small child in the background there, might want headphones. There's hello, small child. You're like, no, he's wrong time. So Germany might not speak English. That's good. Think about this. A lot of my more hippie friends in Brighton, where I live, which is a really hippie place, will be like, oh, I'm really bad at marketing. And they'll say it with a smile. And they'll be like, oh, I'm rubbish at business. They're almost proud of it. Like, it makes them more spiritual. Being shit at business doesn't make you more spiritual. It makes you more lame. Yeah, it makes you more harming yourself and the world. It makes you more violent. It makes you more useless. So this is some tough dad love coming at you. All right. I'm not saying this because I want to upset you or hurt you. I'm saying this because I want to point out that lack of skill in this area is harmful to you and others. It's not a nice thing to point out, but it is a loving thing to point out. Just making sense to people. You follow my logic? And you sort of know this, don't you? That's why you're here. You sort of know, like, who's sick of being a bit shit at business, a bit shit at marketing? You're just like, I'm so tired of this. Yeah, I'm so tired of this. Well, who just has that love for, I really want to get my stuff into the world. I really want to help people with this stuff. You've got that like passion for it. People say, I'm passionate about my work. So then you need to be passionate about getting it to people. Yeah. That's all marketing is, by the way. This is all marketing is. Letting people know how you can help them. That's it. What evil, awful thing. Yeah. So all you're doing in marketing is letting people know how you can help them. Assuming you can help them, you're not lying. And of course, I really understand if you don't want to do the normal marketing you see, because it's not letting people know how you can help them. In that case, it's lying about how you could not help people. Yeah, of course you don't want to do that. You're a half-decent human being. You with me? It's making sense? How's this landing? Show me, tell me. Turn your camera on if your camera's on. I like to sort of see how you're doing. By the way, if you're sort of not very resourced today and you're a bit exhausted, that you might want to watch the recordings. Might not, or buy the ethical marketing thing we do. Like today's like going to be fairly full on. Yeah, cool. All right, I have slides for the more visual people. After all that, there's a baby. Babies are cute. There's flowers. Flowers are nice. There's a kitten. Kittens are good. There's some nice stuff. There we go. Blah, blah. That's what we're doing today. Yeah, there's a sort of taboo around this stuff, isn't there? Particularly in alternative circles, like growing up, this is who I've worked with, blah, blah, blah. I had kind of hippie parents, and whenever someone in like a sports car or someone rich kind of drove by, my mum would kind of tut. Do you know the word to tut? It's a great British verb. It means to do this. It's like a mildly disapproving sound. British people are very good at it. Okay. And my dad would say, I bet he's got a small dick. Yeah. When someone in a big car went by. And the message I got growing up was really sort of, business is bad, business is evil, people with money are bad people. And then I went to work in like non-profit sector, and they had the same idea, even though you had to have money there to help people. I did a lot of stuff with kids. And then, when I went to work in business, eventually I got tired of being broke. I was expecting business people to be sort of evil, and I found out that they weren't. They were just normal people. And I also found out there's lots of ethical ways of doing business, as well as some bad ways. And I'm not, how can I say, I'm not really trained in this. I'm not a marketing teacher. I'm an embodiment teacher, although I just happen to have a bit of a talent for marketing. Yeah. The other thing was, I said to myself, well, if I want to keep doing what I do, to be sustainable would be the word I would use, I need to be good enough at this. Yeah, good enough. So you don't need to be a marketing expert, but you do need to be good enough to be sustainable in your own life. And I realized it was a form of self-care. And we did courses and I wrote books. We did the big conference last year. And, I've done this all over the world. So you see different people have different money stuff. Israel's not the same as Russia. It's not the same as America. There's different cultural pieces around this. I really said to myself as well, like, hey, I need to do marketing for my work, but can it feel good? Yeah, I think I got this question from Tad Hargrave, who's a marketing person I like. Can I do marketing in a way that's authentic, kind, generous? The Jedi, not the Sith, right? Remember, don't watch this shit film. Can I do marketing which isn't bullshit, which isn't like the sort of politician or the big companies that annoy me on a daily basis? Yeah. Companies that promote fear and lies and invent problems that don't exist, like dandruff. And then I realized I just had to get the fuck over myself, because really it's just telling people how I could help them. And the analogy I sometimes give is, like, imagine you had a sandwich, okay, or a food that you like and your friends like, and there was hungry people. All marketing is telling them you have a sandwich. It's not that complicated, is it? So the other bits of marketing are like, are you hungry? Because if so, I have a sandwich. Now we could get more complicated and say it's describing the type of sandwich, right? To see that it's really fitting the needs. Like, describe the best type of sandwich. The best type of sandwich is thick white bread, not that dirty black German bread, okay, with ketchup and bacon and eggs. That is a good sandwich. And I am hungry because I skipped breakfast. Yeah. Now that means that some of your sandwiches are a good fit for me. Yeah. If you want like a organic gluten-free bread sandwich with soya in it, it's not a good fit for me. Okay. It's not a good fit. Yeah. So marketing is determining that fit. Does that make sense? All we're trying to do is decide together. So I don't need to manipulate you, because I actually want to know what's a good fit. We're deciding together if it's a good fit. Yeah. As opposed to like, oh, I'm not going to tell them about the sandwich because it doesn't feel right. And it's to just fucking tell them you have a sandwich. Does it make sense? It's the straightforward thing in the world. You have a sandwich, tell them you have a sandwich. That's all we're doing. We're finding out whether your sandwich matches the kind of sandwiches they like. Another analogy would be romance. Okay. So who here's a gay guy or a gay woman? Yeah. If you're in a bar and you want to meet a potential boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, okay, you need to know if it's a fit, don't you? And it's not a problem if they're not. Like, if I talk to someone and they're like, oh, I'm a lesbian, I'm like, oh, okay, great, no problem, but we're not going to date because you don't like me. That's fair enough. Does that make sense? So in romance, we do this, right? And maybe you like tall people or short people, or maybe you like older men or younger men or whatever, right? Like, we all have our tastes. And we determine in romance, we get to know each other, don't we? We go for a coffee. We don't get married straight away. Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, I've got some good jokes about that. We don't get married straight away. We get to have a coffee, then we have dinner, then we have Netflix and chill. Then maybe we move in together 6 months later, and then we get married. Yeah, if you're into that. Okay. So there's a natural relationship building where we determine if we're a good fit or not. Make sense? So I think of marketing as kind of a romance. You have to find out who fancies you and who you fancy. Okay. Yeah. It's a bit polyamorous. This is where the marriage thing falls down, because you have more than one customer. But you're getting to know each other. You're flirting. You're checking each other out. Yeah. And eventually you start to have more involvement. And instead of, sex, it's money, right? There's more commitment in a different way. Just makes sense? Yeah. Yeah, like the romance, it doesn't always work out. Absolutely. Some of you today, for example, have gone, I am offended. I don't like his jokes. I want something very dry and boring and not at all like this. I'm out of here. I'm never buying your product. Good. You shouldn't buy my product. Yeah. My job as a marketeer today, I'm not trying to get you all to buy ethical marketing, by the way, which is the product we have around this. I'm filtering you. I'm saying some of you would love it and you're going to be my best customers and I'm going to know you for the next 10 years and we'll probably end up friends while we're at it. Personally, for me, I don't really want a customer who I couldn't at least be sort of friends with and hang out with. That's a test for me. Like I don't have to be like their best friend, but someone that I'd at least want a coffee with, you know? So I'm filtering you and you're filtering me. Make sense? Some of you absolutely should leave now for both our sakes, right? Like absolutely. Just like, oops, I've walked into a gay bar. My mistake, right? I don't hate the gay bar. It's just not for me. Make sense? I'm glad the gay bar's there for someone else. My mate Steve would love the gay bar. Yeah, it's just not for me, right? So that's what we're doing in marketing. And that takes all the pressure off, doesn't it? By the way, this also applies to dating for real, by the way. This is a great frame for dating. You don't have to feel nervous ever again. You know? So no one, I'm not trying to manipulate you. You're not trying to manipulate me. You're not like, I am the customer. I have the money. Because I'm like, well, I might not want you as a customer. I'm not playing hard to get. I actually mean that. Yeah. So we're both just getting to know each other. What's wrong with that? Who likes this one? Yes. You can have great dancing gay bars. Let's the gay bars. It's just a metaphor, okay, kids? Just a metaphor. Let's not get hung up on the gay bars. Like, there are some great ones in Brighton if you want a recommendation. Yeah. Okay, good. Let's see. So what perspectives have we got? One perspective, the sandwich. Okay, just fucking tell them about your sandwich. Yeah. Another perspective, it's relationship building. I want a long-term win-win in marketing. If it's not a win-win, the customer doesn't come back. Okay. Yeah. I want a good reputation through people who like what I do, keep coming back, tell their friends. We've got trust. Don't have to keep getting new customers because people buy my products again and again. You're not that spiritual. You're a knobhead if you're into marketing. Okay, our friend JP Spears. So it's not about being spiritual. It's marketing is love. That's the key thing here. It's more loving to tell people how you can help them and look after yourself than to not tell people how you can help them and to not look after yourself. Simple as that. There is not marketing is the evil thing. Assuming we're doing it in this ethical way, this Jedi, not Sith way. Yeah. It's about the fit. It's not about persuasion. For the Embody Facilitator course, it's one of our bigger courses. We interview people for an hour at least once, sometimes twice, before letting them on the course. Because we're going to spend 9-10 months with them. We really want them to be a good fit for their benefit and ours. We don't want to give them their money back halfway through. Yeah. You know, another one is just thinking of it that it's just a set of life skills. It's not like, you know, like who here has a shower at least once a week? I actually smell right now, but it's a good job it's seen. At least once a week, not Zoe, not Simona. Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Okay, so you're not like, oh my God, I have to have a shower. It's such a hassle. Oh my God, I have to brush my teeth and trim my toenails. You just do it. You just go, you know, this is necessary to adult. Now, if you're super depressed, you sometimes don't do it, right? But generally, as adults, we just do the adult shit we need to do. You pay the phone bill, you clip your toenails, you have a shower. Okay, so that's another frame for marketing. If it's not evil, it's just something to do. Just get on with it. No big deal. Why make a fuss about it? Why make a fuss about it? Don't have to go crazy about it. Yeah, like put a few hours in your diary and actually do some. Last perspective here, that actually marketing, I can't spell practice. Marketing, Practic. There we go. A practice now. It doesn't have to be hard work. You can actually make it play. I'm in marketing right now by getting to know you, and you're getting to know me, right? I'm offering you what I do. You get to know me, I'm getting to know you. I'm having fun, right? That's a mandatory thing for me. This is play for me. The fact that I'm going to be getting dolphin puppets and unicorns out in a minute should reinforce that. You know, this is not like, oh my God, I have to work with dolphin puppets today. You know? Marketing for me, I don't know if you've seen my marketing, I'm constantly making jokes, writing poems, creating things. It's really creative. Who's a creative person? Who's a creative person? Okay, then you should be good at marketing. The other thing it's really good practice for is listening. I'm a shit listener, and it sometimes affects my marketing badly. Who's a good listener? Okay, most important thing for marketing is, what does your customer want? Actually, here's the thing, no one actually cares about you. All right, what they care about is what they can get, so you have to listen to them. It's like, what are they interested in? People always like, if I ask, we play this game sometimes where someone tells me about their yoga class and they're like, I'm an Iyengar yogi and I've practiced for 30 years. And I'm like, I don't care about you. What am I going to get from your yoga class? Right? Like, it's a little bit autistic, right? It's like, be empathic. What does your customer want? How does your customer speak? Like, read your website. Is that how they speak? Yeah. Okay, so marketing is about listening. Last thing it's about is courage. Who's brave in at least one area of their life? At least one area. You do need courage. And of those three, I'd say most people are good at one or two. They're the three core skills. We could also think of marketing as a spiritual practice. Why is marketing a spiritual practice? Can anyone guess? This might sound like a strange thing to say. Why do you think marketing is a spiritual practice? Don't make me do all the work. Belief. Belief's a double-edged sword. I'd be careful with belief. I'm a big believer in data, not belief. Confidence is part of it for sure. Connecting authentically, yeah. Attunement, yeah. Okay. Here's what you're dealing with. As soon as you deal with money, you're constantly dealing with fear and greed. Classical Buddhist things. You're classically dealing with attachment. You're continuously nudged into unethical behavior unless you readjust yourself. It's like, it's just a little lie. I'll just put that in there. Yeah. I'll say, we're never doing this sale again, but actually I'm going to do it in 6 months. Yeah. Okay. So there's a constant ethical practice. There's a constant practice of dealing with greed. Often people say, I'm so excited. What they mean is, I am terrified. Yeah. There's a constant practice in connecting with others and listening more deeply. It's basically a tantra, is how you can look at marketing. And it's, you know, bravery, service orientation, reorientating to service, reorientating away from the natural selfishness that can arise. Yeah. So this is a frame. So I've actually offered you many frames. Which of those 8 do you prefer? Marketing is love. You get why it's love. Telling people how you can help people, that's loving. It's not self-harming. It's trust building, it's relationship building, it's getting to know people. It's about the fit. It's a sandwich. It's just a sandwich. It's just skills. And you actually have a lot of these skills already when you think about it, yeah? It can be play. In fact, I insist that it's play. And it can be a tantra. Steve, would you write those in the chat just so I can see people? Which are your favorites? Write those down. Put it on your desk. Now, I was going to coach one of these animals, but I think you should coach them. Which was the animal of choice, Stephen?
Dolphins came on top ahead of unicorns.
Okay, dolphin love. So this is Dippy the hippie dolphin. Okay, Dippy the dolphin wants your help with marketing. Can you help Dippy with marketing? Come on, I want to see some participation here, guys. All right, if I'm going to humiliate you, it is fun, but you will learn, trust me. Okay, so everyone say hello to Dippy the dolphin. Squeak, squeak. No, you got to squeak. You got to squeak. You can't wave. Dolphins don't have hands. They don't know what waving is. Everyone squeaking? Great. Okay. Do I have to do some marketing? Yes. I don't like having to do things. Why should I? I do what I want. I'm a freedom-loving dolphin. Why should I do any marketing? Type it in the chat. Why should I? I just want to splish and splosh around in the 5 rhythms class with the other dolphins. Why should I have to do any marketing at all? You can show off to save the ocean. Oh, I like it. Okay. Oh, okay. So I do need to earn a little. I do need to eat some fish, and I do like to tell the other dolphins about my dolphin tantra skills. I'm a tantric dolphin. That's what I teach, tantric dolphinness. Okay, and it's a really good thing. And we teach tantric dolphinness Okay. And I do want to tell people about that because it's loving. It's very nice tantric dolphin sex. Okay. So I'm talking about tantric dolphin sex. How did this happen? This is my actual career. Really, how did this happen? Okay, there's a serious point in here somewhere. Oh, yes. Do I have to be bad, though, to sell tantric dolphin sex? Do I have to be an evil dolphin? Please answer in the chat. No. Are you saying I don't have to do marketing like off the telly? Squeak. Oh, that's good news, isn't it? I'm a nice dolphin. I don't want to do evil marketing. Okay. So if marketing's not evil, what is it? Help me out. I'm a poor dolphin. I've got no money for dolphin weed or blowfish. Got no money to look after my little dolphin children. It's love. It's helping other people. It's self-care. Oh, I like self-care. I like trying to hug myself, but my flippers aren't very big. Good. All right. Good. Well done. Can we say thank you for Mr. Squeakles, the tantric dolphin? Everything. Lara's a sex therapist. She's like, I'm using the dolphin in future. Feel free. A couple of you are just staring at me now like, what the fuck is going on? All right, what have you learned so far? Put it in the chat. We're halfway through. You love the dolphin. If you're good, we'll do the unicorn later. What have you learned so far? Marketing teachers, is this how you teach marketing? Andrea, don't think she does. Cool. All right. So we've got some new. We've sort of done the session already. We could just have a dolphin love party, really. We've pretty much done it now. You will need to sort of recondition yourself, right? You will need to remind yourself, of course. You will need to notice what's Jedi and Sith and get that idea in your head. You know, learn to realize, remind yourself you're just helping people because we're conditioned, right? There's an embodiment element to this that, you know, when I work with students longer term, I give them a lot of embodiment exercises because the theory's not enough. The theory doesn't cut it. You know, it's like, Lara, you're a sex therapist, right? So I imagine you're pretty sex positive and you can tell people like, hey, all consensual sex between adults is fine. And they can like go logically, yes, that's true, but they've still got like so much shame in their system. Yeah. So it's like logically is the first step. It's not the last step. Yeah. Great. So, oh, this is everything you need to know about marketing. You want to know everything you need to know about marketing? Yes, no? Questions. Let's do some questions first. Questions. Any questions? You could put your little dolphin hand up. If you are going to ask a question with your actual voice, though, please make it one sentence and not your life story. And please make sure you're not trying to teach, that you're actually asking a question, because it's annoying when people try and teach on my session. Yeah. How to find people who might benefit my services? Yes. So that is the question of marketing. That's what you just asked there is all of marketing. How do I find the people that would love what I do? I like the word love. How do I find the people that would love what I do and can pay for it? Yeah. Make sense? For me, the perfect customer is like, I like them, they like me. They can benefit a lot from the surface. That's more important in a way. Yeah. Let me ask you another question. Where do I start? Yeah, start with the reframe and then start with the thing I'm going to teach you next. How do you approach the notion of not knowing the grumpy hanger? I'm lost with the metaphor. Can you de-metaphorize it? So it's like, are they a real customer? Do they have a real need? Is that the question? Yeah, that's kind of for them to determine as long as you're being honest. How to be honest about uncertainty when competing with fake confidence. Yes, vulnerability is like crack to hippies and particularly females, okay? It's just how it is. I'm sorry if you think that's sexist, it's true. So test my theory if you don't agree. But vulnerability is absolutely fantastic marketing to say, you know what, I'm pretty sure this can help you. And if you're not pretty sure, you shouldn't be selling it. You should be giving it away still. Make sense? So you should be relatively confident that you can help people or else you're a con artist. Yeah, you should be like, no, I've coached 100 people and 98 of them got a good response. So I'm pretty sure this will be good for you. And if you want to be vulnerable about that little bit of uncertainty, that's no problem. Just be honest about it. Yeah, I once stood on a stage in front of 500 people and said, I'm absolutely shitting myself. Then everyone laughed. And then I just got on with the talk. There's nothing wrong with naming that. Yeah. Obviously, as long as you've got the integrity of I basically trust my own product. If you're not at that point, you should do more of it, particularly for free. And you should ask people, do you like my yoga class? And they'll say, yes, I love your yoga class. And they actually give you the confidence. Yeah. So there's, and also people can tell the difference between like fake confidence, right? Because it's inflated. It feels different, doesn't it? It's like, imagine someone's like, I'm amazing. I'm the best shag ever. I'm the most amazing lover in the world. I've got a foot-long penis and a tongue like a... It's like, you just know that's bullshit because it's too puffed up. Does that make sense? It lacks the quiet confidence of real confidence. Okay, let's talk a little bit more before I actually ask some more questions. What to do when people want my time service for energy for free? Not to give it to them. That's the answer to that, because that would be self-abuse. Or give it to the ones in a small number of them, or the ones you determine you want to do some charity work. But if you're self-abusing if you give it away for free, right? And they're actually taking the piss if they ask for it. Like, you wouldn't ask a plumber to work for free, would you? Right? You wouldn't be like, oh, can you come around my house and fix my plumbing, but I'm not going to give you any money. They'd be like, no, I'm a professional. Yeah, unless it's your dad, he's helping you out or something like that, right? Yeah. Well, if you're a plumber, you can still help your friends out, but generally you need to charge to look after yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Don't let people take the piss with stuff like that. All right. What's a good hairdresser? What's a good hairdresser? You tell me. In the chat, what's a good hairdresser? What constitutes a good hairdresser? Yeah, how do I reach people who would benefit? That's all of marketing. Okay. We'll go back a stage and then we'll come back to that, I promise you. What's a good hairdresser? Okay, one who listens to what you want. No, I don't like a hairdresser who listens to what I want. I want a hairdresser who just cuts my hair. Okay, here's a question. Does a good hairdresser chat to you? No. I like my favorite hairdresser. If I were to name it, it's called Shut the Fuck Up Hairdresser. Here's how it works. I go in there. He's got my favorite drink ready for me, which he knows already. He doesn't ask me what I want because I have the same haircut every time and he knows what it is. Okay. He just says the usual. I say, yes, Gerard. Okay. He then shuts the fuck up for 45 minutes, cuts my hair. He doesn't like massage my head or anything like that. He just cuts my hair. And at the end of it, he does the thing with the mirror, which is completely pointless because I never really look at it. And he says, is that good? And I say, that's great, Gerard. Here's your money. Oh, 45 minutes of quiet. Okay. That's my idea of a good hairdresser. I go across town and pay lots of money for that haircut, even though there's a hairdresser at the end of my street that's half the price. Okay. There's no other people in the hairdresser as well. I don't really like to be around other people when I have my haircut. Okay. I like to be on my own with Gerard, and it's very nice. Okay. That's my idea of a good hairdresser. But yours might be different. Like, there's a hairdresser for people with like Afro-Caribbean hair in Brighton. There's hairdressers that are really chatty and gossipy, right? So it depends what you like. So what we're talking about there is the niche or the niche. So you need to be really clear on these things, and this will determine your niche, and this determines how you can find your customers. So what is the service you offer? First of all, why are you doing it? Coming from the heart is important. What do you offer for who? The how we were just talking about. And then you ask yourself, okay, where do those people hang out? Where do those people hang out? Yeah. So if you know that you sell, I don't know, lessons in sleep for parents with young children, it becomes very obvious where you should be putting your marketing efforts, right? Like Facebook groups for parents with young children or whatever. Make sense? Most people aren't very good at the what to begin with. I want everyone to put in the chat, what do you sell? But you're not allowed to put your modality in. What's the solution you offer or the benefit you give? So acupuncture, what you don't sell having needles in you. No one wants needles in them. Okay. What you sell is not having a headache, not having period pain, not having eczema, right? Does that make sense? What is it you sell? Yeah, but what experience? No one wakes up in the morning and says, I want an experience. Hope, health. Okay, but specifically what kind of health? Let's get specific. What does freedom to move give them? What does space give them? If you can always ask that question, so everyone asks themselves that question, if there's another level, you haven't yet got to what you actually sell. Yeah. Who wants me to help you out with your niche? Who's a bit unclear about their niche? Zoe, first hand up. Good jumping in. Unmute Zoe, please, Steve.
Hello.
Hey, Zoe, give me the broad area of what you do.
Yoga teacher.
What do you sell?
Emotional and physical well-being.
Great. And if you had to pick, which you're best at?
Emotional.
Great. So feeling better, would that be a way of saying it? Like, how would normal people say that? Like your mom or your brother or whatever, how would normal people say that?
More stable in themselves. Oh, no, they wouldn't say that.
Okay, let's find out who your customers are.
Lifted, lighter.
Say again?
Elevated, lifted, lighter.
Okay, like uplifted. And who do you work best with and also like?
Ooh,
Think of your current customers. Who do you wish there was lots of them in the class?
I'm
yep.
Sorry, I was getting confused, distracted.
Who do you like working?
People in their mid-30s, 40s. I work well with couples.
Okay.
I have a leaning towards females, but
yeah. So is the demographic can be part of this? Is there a particular, the psychographics even more important? Are there a particular type of people? I mean, couples is certainly one you could work with. That's a great niche. Yeah. But like, who would you go, yeah, I could do that all day. I'm brilliant at that. They've got a bit of money. Like, they're the criteria. It's like, you're good at it. You like it. They have some money.
oh gosh, this is really difficult.
Think of
usually
go on. Think of your class, or like, who do you go, oh yeah, I wish there was more of them?
Down to earth.
Great.
Unpretentious.
Great.
Normal.
Yeah, great. That's given me enough. Here's what I would call your yoga class. Okay, so the basic idea, and you could try the couples and then see if that's too niche, could be something like this: uplifting yoga. Is there a less wanky way of saying like uplifting, like in terms of the main benefit? How would they say it, the client? It's just yoga to feel good, yoga to feel happy.
Yeah. Sorry, drawing a blank. I guess.
No. Go on.
I was going to say shit. What was I going to? Oops, sorry. I was going to say spacious, light-hearted.
Yeah. Ask them. So ask them, why do you come to my class? And then write down the exact words they say, because they probably won't say to feel spacious.
Yeah.
They might just good. Well, I'm happier when I come, right? So it could be something as simple as your niche is yoga that makes non-pretentious people happy. Right?
Yeah.
Yoga, like happy yoga for normal people, or happy yoga for normal couples. Yeah. Or yoga that makes normal people feel happy without the leggings, unicorns, and bullshit. All right, you're going to make a great brand out of this. It could be called non-wank yoga. Okay. Yeah. If you don't know the word wank, it means pretentious in England. Okay, so like non-wank yoga would sell so well, because there's so many people like my brother-in-law who'd be like, well, I know yoga's good for me, I should probably go to it, but it's such bollocks, right? Like, and if they saw non-wank yoga, like, I tell you who's your real market here is probably, given that more couples are heterosexual, it's probably the woman who's encouraging the bloke to go, who's a bit resistant, but then he sees the funny flyer that says non-wank yoga with Zoe, all right, and goes, I'll do that. She looks like she's got a sense of humor. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Non-wank yoga for couples. Boom. Fist bump me, Zoe. Boom. Okay. Thank you very much. All right, let's give Rose a round of applause being brave and stepping up. Yeah. So let me take you through the parts of that. And it is a process. So Zoe's going to need to go get feedback. She's going to ask about the language. She's going to decide about the exact branding. She's going to find out what's funny, what's too rude, what's not cheeky enough. She's going to say, is it normal people, conventional people? Is it average people? She's going to figure out the exact language of it, right? But she's got to test it as well. Like if she does it for couples, does that destroy half our market, or does it actually make more of a market? Yeah, particularly with online, you can hyper niche with online because you've got more choices. Yeah, so often people are scared to niche, but in the long term, it's normally the better thing. Okay, so this is a marketing class for people who like marketing and like rude jokes and swearing, right? It's quite niched what we're doing. There's still 149 people here. Yeah, it's a pretty decent turnout. Okay, so what she's trying to do is figure out exactly what benefit she provides. That's key. For who? Okay, what benefit for who? And then the third bit is like how, in what way. That's like the shut the fuck up hairdressers, the style. Yeah, she's got her own particular style that I'm hoping she'll just make the brand authentic. And if it's fun for her, she'll keep doing it. And then she won't mind marketing in that way. She can have fun with it. She can play with it because she's just being herself. It's no big deal. Yeah, and she's speaking to people she likes, so she can just speak to them normally. Make sense? Yeah, one reason I swear so much is just I like swearing, but it's also that people who don't mind swearing normally quite like me as a teacher, as an embodiment teacher. Yeah, so it just filters. It's like in everyone's, it's not like swearing. Like when I work with kids, I don't swear. It's not that it's really important to me. It's just a way of finding the people I like. Yeah, if you can't handle simulated dolphin sex, you're not my customer. That is the line. Okay, Zoe's going to have another line. It's like, if you read The Guardian, you're too left-wing to be in my class. Or if you eat couscous more than once a month, you're too posh to be in my class, right? Or if you have ever been to a rainbow gathering, you are too much of a hippie to be in my class. Yeah, good marketing's all about excluding and upsetting people. Yeah, like you don't have to upset them, but you do need. It's like, did you ever go into a really posh shop in London and immediately just go, yeah, this is not for me, and walk out? Ever have that experience? You're like, I clearly can't afford what you're selling. Yeah, it's like one of those shops that doesn't have a name. Yeah, no. So it's like it's not an insult to you or to them. It's just not a good fit, right? So Zoe's going to get better and better at figuring out what the warning signs are, how to put on the flyers, what to call stuff, etc., etc. Yeah. So can you all do that? That is how you figure out niching. Tad Hargrave's very good at that. Big influence on me. Maybe Steve could put his name in the chat. Really, really important. The emotional side of this is you work it out logically, but then also it's like, actually be emotionally involved, right? Like self from your heart, like actually talk about what you love and how it helps people that you care about. Yeah. And and I do stuff on other courses about how to write copy about that. We talked about benefits. Yeah, Zoe talks about the benefits for the client, not the benefits for her. That is the main move people have to make when they get good at marketing. Niche from the French for nest. Problem you solve, for who, how you do it. Okay. Today. There's some great examples of niching here if you want to see some more examples. So Your Right to Be is Erica, my student, who's utterly different from me, who helps women who are too nice. Okay, women who are too nice. Who's a woman who's too nice? Give me a wave. Kirsty's like, fucking not me, mate. Yeah, so you're pointing at your friend. This is why it's a great niche, because you immediately know she needs Erica's course, right? Erica works with me quite a lot. Yeah, Erica's like the opposite of me in many ways, right? So the fact that you immediately know, is it Catherine? I don't know which one of you is Catherine. Are you both Catherine? Are you one symbiotic super being? No? Okay, so one of them clearly is not needing this course and one of them is. And the fact that she knows immediately that her friend that Catherine needs it, yeah? Got the right Catherine? Okay, you look like a Catherine. That's Catherine. Yeah, I thought so. And the fact that she immediately knows Catherine needs it means it's a great niche. She immediately knows. Another one on this niching example here is really good, is Blue Box Counseling. That's therapy for geeks. It's therapy for people who like science fiction. That sounds bizarre. Or my friend Julie, she's Moscow's premier lesbian English teacher. She does English classes for LGBTQ plus people. That's a great niche because in Russia, those people aren't very safe and they like to get together. They have a network. Okay. And once she's comfortable with that group of people, they can speak freely about their concerns, and she teaches them English. Right? Great niche. COVID Calm was us when we talked to doctors. So we had to change the language to make everything medical. Yeah, embodied yoga principles. That's yoga. It's not quite the same as those, but it's yogis for a particular type of yoga teacher. Yeah, we always say non-new age, non-body beautiful, non-woke, non-fundamentalist. So there's 4 types of people we're actively trying to turn away. They're my 4 types. Your 4 types might be different, right? If you're like super woke or super new age, you'd be like, no, the opposite. And that's fine. The world is big enough for all of us. Okay. As a freelancer, do I have to be my brand? It's a good question. How much there's pros and cons to putting yourself at the center of the brand. I think it's probably best that I don't open that up too much. Yeah, Erica is teaching a one for women who are too nice as well. So Sunday, 6 p.m. UK time, right, Steve? Someone's asking about the recordings. Maybe you can say that, Steve. Yeah, no, niche comes from the French word, I believe. It's not the exact French word. Shouldn't be less excluding early on. I think the sooner you can niche, the better. I wish I'd niched much sooner. It caused me all kinds of problems trying to be all things to all people. The other thing is like, look at it this way. Which are you more likely to go to? A hairdresser that's also a butcher's, or just a hairdresser's? So you're not like, oh, by being a butcher and a hairdresser, we're going to get more customers. No, you're not. Yeah. Particularly if you're online. The only exception to this would be if geography is your limitation, like you live in a very small town and you're the only yoga studio, in which case, like, you just need to be general yoga generally. Yeah. Even then, you probably want to start to exclude and have people travel from further away to get to you. Yeah. Good question. Cool. Steve, what's the most useful thing I've ever taught you about marketing? I know I didn't prepare you for this question.
I'll just go with that. I really like the sandwich one there. That's just, you're just telling people that you've got something that can help them when they're starving, and just giving it to them. Yeah.
The other thing I talk about a lot with my students and mentees, and remember, this can take a bit of time, like the ethical marketing course we do, which, I am going to sell you, and it's not for everyone, but you might like it. It takes a bit of time because you have to go through a lot of exercises, and like Zoe there is just starting to think about it now, right? She's go away, think about it, experiment, come back, try some other stuff, learn some other stuff. We talk about funnels a lot, which are about how you build relationship, how you get to know people. Yeah, so that's another really key concept that we're not really gonna have time to go into today. Other things we talk about a lot, levels of marketing, safety stuff, like trauma sensitive stuff, making it safe, how you build authority. There's loads of great models that we use. And as I said, normally it's centering. There's a really good one, like how to ask for money by centering. There's a few people that I trust. If you don't like me, you might like these guys. George and Mark are good, but much more yin than me. They're much like the sort of soft yin Californian gentle version. Tad's a bit more like that. He's definitely a hippie. Seth Godin is sort of very clever, intellectual, but not very embodied. There's various podcasts I've done if you want more free content, various YouTube channels and stuff from the Embodiment Conference you might have seen on marketing as well. If you want to, go more into it, a couple more free things this week. And if you're already like, no, like, who's at that point where you're like, you know what? I basically trust that Mark isn't full of shit about this topic. Give me a thumbs up or a wave. Just like, you might not be yet, that's fine. Yeah. You're basically like, no, I saw that you helped Zoe. I basically get it. And you're like, you know what? I actually want to invest in myself on this topic. You're like, because if you don't trust me on this topic, I get it. You might need more time to get to know me. I might just not be for you. That's fine. Right. And if you're at the point where you're like, you know what, this doesn't really matter. I'm not yet in enough pain. I'm not yet suffering enough. I'm not yet at a point where I really want to fucking pull my finger out and make any effort. Or maybe you just, life's too hard right now. You just don't really want to spend, the course we offer is like quite a few hours of work. It takes a few hours to work your way through it. And it is work. I'm not going to lie to you. You have to you saw Zoe there. She wasn't exactly comfortable, was she? Is that fair to say, Zoe? It's like you were working like emotionally, mentally. It's awkward. So if you're in a place where like life's overwhelming, you just might not want to do it right now. Yeah, she was brave. It is brave. It is brave to say, I have a problem and I'm willing to do the work to solve it. Who's in that place? If you're in that place, I would take a serious look at the ethical marketing course. If I'm not your cup of tea, really okay. If you go to Tad or Mark or George, any of those guys, they're a really different style to me. And I think pretty aligned on the values and the heart-based stuff. So I want to give you an alternative. If you just like, you just piss me off and I'm offended and whatever. Yeah. Ava's laughing at that. Yeah, Steve, you want to do a screen share and then people can have another look at it, maybe put a link in the chat, and then we'll finish with something nice right at the end.
Here we go. So yeah, what we have done as well is it is half price until next Tuesday as well. So let's bring it down. So in terms of, as Mark said, it is a lot of work. There's 98 topics in the inner journey stuff. That's like some of the embodiment stuff as well, taking that aspect and looking at, like Mark mentioned, centering that sort of stuff. So 5.5 hours of that, then outer journey stuff as well, 4.5 hours. Like mentioned, George Cowell and Julia Chanteray, so there's bonuses from them in there. So there's one of George's courses actually is one of the bonuses in there. Also a lot of marketing coaching to give that idea like you just saw there. And then in terms of the course, there's just a shitload of stuff. So it's split into topics, so it's easy to navigate. Sort of stuff first looking at money, how you deal with that, how you put exercise around it, then bring the embodiment in as well, and then starting to go into the marketing stuff. Some of the stuff you've heard today, but goes way, way more in depth, obviously, as you'd expect. And a lot of it, even though that's the recorded hours, it goes sort of a lot deeper in that as well. So it's like you spend double as much time at least doing it because you have got to do the exercises and actually work out where it is for you. So spending that time actually doing it. In terms of a little bit of other stuff as well, it is essentially for teachers, coaches, facilitators, because you're professionals, and so as Mark says, advertising yourself in order to get what you need. But it's from real experience because Mark has actually obviously done it for over 10,000 people over time. Yeah, I'll hand it back to you, Mark.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, I like doing this stuff because I feel like I want to support good people to do good work in the world and earn a decent living at the same time. So that's why I started teaching marketing. It wasn't my training. Students kept asking for it. And then my hippie mate would take me aside after yoga or fire rhythms and say, Mark, you seem to be not entirely broke. How do you do that? Yeah, or Mark, I really want to reach more people. You seem to have done this big conference. And I'd say, yeah. After I'd sort of taken about 20 hippies for coffee, because they're my mates, they're my friends, I went, I should put something together and sort of make it a bit more available, a bit more thorough. So it's not just rambling like today. It's much more structured discourse. Cool. So I'll do something you'll never, ever see a normal salesperson do. Close your eyes, if you're willing. And just go to your body and be like, what am I left with here? Am I excited? Maybe you're a bit tired because it's been full on. And, ask yourself, like, do I actually want to invest more time in this, either with one of the free calls this week or actually going, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go for it. And there's no panic here, right? Like, we're not trying to panic sell you. This reduction just goes for a few more days. If you want to sleep on it or think about it, just make sure you put it in your diary, because otherwise you'll forget and then the price is double. But you've got a few days, so you don't have to rush. And just, am I a yes to this? It's like when you fall in love, you don't work it out logically. You just go, I'm a yes to this person, or in this course, in this case, I'm a yes to this. Or the next step, which might just be going to Erica's thing or whatever. Yeah, so whenever someone tries to sell you anything again, make sure you're not in fight or flight. If you're in fight or flight, do not make this buying decision. In fact, I'd rather you didn't, because you probably ask for your money back. Make sure you're not scared, you're not anxious. And if you are, just give it a bit of time. If someone says, hey, do you want a date or do you want a shag? And you say, well, if you're stressed, then just say, give me a minute. Same with any choice, Yeah, so it's something you can use for any choice from today, to check in with yourself, so your yes or no is coming from a more connected place. Yeah. And the other thing I'd say is be grateful. So open your eyes, look around the room. What are you grateful for? So you don't come from scarcity, come from abundance. Yeah. Look on the screen, all the people that helped us out. Steve helped us out. Zoe helped us out. Lots of good questions. Lucy's holding up a pencil. Can we all say thank you to Dippy the hippie dolphin? Yeah. Okay, we've all got an inner dolphin that doesn't like marketing and stuff, and it doesn't have to be evil, right? Cool. Well, that's the hour. I want to keep my promise on the time. Hey, Annabelle, nice to see you. Namgay, nice to see you. Wave at everyone on the screen. We end in a very particular way. We call it the group fuck off. So in the most loving way we can, in our first languages, because we appreciate diversity, we say fuck off to everyone in our first language, or if you prefer, thank you. Either is fine. So Steve,
and before that, just a quick one as well. So the next session will be the Friday 5 p.m. UK time session. That's with Mark and Patricia discussing no bullshit marketing stories. Then Erica's session is at 6 p.m. on Sunday UK time. And then replays will be there July 19 to July 20. And that's when the half price on the product ends. So you can sign up or tell friends to sign up at that link I've posted. So yeah, time for the fuck offs.
Yeah, Patricia's lovely. She's a Mexican woman, very mature, very different from me personally, and comes from a background in therapy and yoga. So we're quite complementary, and be worth checking her out. She's got a whole different vibe on it than me. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye.